Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Samantha with Love.Live.Dance, and today I am joined by the amazing Kimberly Mitchell, who is a former UK Open International Latin and Standard Champion, a two-time US Professional Latin Champion, current coach, adjudicator, judge, and just overall wonderful person. So you mentioned competing with Bill. You mentioned showcases with Bill or show dance performances with Bill. Has it been 3 years already since the 40th anniversary? Was that 2017?
How crazy. Yeah. Woo!
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, time is flying past. So because it was the 40th anniversary of Ohio Star Ball, they brought back a bunch of former champions that are now either on the judging circuit or retired to do show dance performances. So how did all of that come together? Did Sam Sedano reach out and say, hey, I'd love for you guys to do a performance? Or was it something that you guys as judges and adjudicators were like, hey, it would be really cool if we did this?
I think it was a little bit of both. I think the core group was invited to come and dance, and then other people got wind of it, like, oh, please invite me. So there may have been a few that invited themselves, but we won't go too much into that. But it was mainly an invitation. Please, it's the 40th year anniversary. We would love to have you all come and dance. And it was, he gave us free rein to do whatever we wanted to do. So,
that's the best.
Yes.
So had you and Bill danced at all between the time where you retired from competition and then, or was that?
That was it. Bill retired, I believe, in 2001, and we hadn't touched each other. Well, no, I take that back. When I was dancing Pro-Am, I'd taken my guys to him for some lessons, so moving around, but we hadn't performed.
Gotcha.
So going back into the studio, practicing, sweating, figuring stuff out, it felt great. It felt great not only to get out there and be dancing with Bill, but to see how we'd evolved and matured. And as much as the pressure was on, because nobody wants to look silly on the dance floor, here's a past champion. Oh my goodness, were they a champion? Nobody wanted that to be said about them. So that there was pressure, but it wasn't competitive pressure. It wasn't, I gotta do this and fisticuffs. Mm-hmm. So it was fun.
Yeah, you were performing for yourself, and you wanted to make sure that you set the bar high enough that you did yourself justice.
Yeah. When those lights came on, that was it.
Just right back to the first time you hit the Ohio floor.
Yeah, it was great. I have to say, when we were at the Star Ball and doing the rehearsal, so everybody was there, I have never seen a room full of champions so nervous. You had world champions over here walking around. You had American champions over here pacing up and down. You had somebody in the corner rocking around. It was quite funny. I mean, we were part of it as well, but all of these champions that are just amazing in their own right, so scared to go back out on the dance floor. And then when the lights hit, it was fabulous.
I think that's reassuring to those of us that are mere mortals then, because it's like, okay, everyone gets nerves when they go out and perform.
We feel it too. Yeah. Behind the scenes was hilarious. Everybody's sweating and nervous. And so, yes, it happens to us all.
Excellent. So how do you, I mean, obviously you've performed many times at all different levels. What is your personal preparation to either push through the nerves, or do you have kind of a ritual before you perform every time where I'm going to get really nervous for 15 minutes and I'm going to calm down and I'm going to get some water and then I'm going to walk around and then I'm just going to do my thing? Do you have kind of a process?
I still get nervous. I get nervous even stepping onto the floor. For me, the nerves go away when the music starts. So when I was competing, I had my music and I took myself away and, just spent a moment with myself, going through some actions, going through some movement, connecting with my body, connecting with the floor, making sure that I knew my routines, maybe going over the routines in my head just to, even though we all practice and we all know our routines, stuff comes up. So it was kind of dance meditation, I guess you could say, focusing on who I want to be, what I want to put out there. Now, obviously, the competitive side is gone, and I do some show dances, and every once in a while, competitions have the judges do a little bit of something, and we have fun with it. And I still get nervous, and I still get nervous getting onto the floor. And the moment the lights and the music comes on, I turn into a beast, and off I go.
That's excellent.
So,
yeah. I have a similar process whenever I go and compete, either pro-am with my students or do showcases at the studio. It's like I need to find 5 or 10 minutes before I go on where I can just mentally go through the routine from start to finish a couple of times, because you are relying on muscle memory, you're relying on adrenaline and performance quality and all of those hours that you put in behind the scenes for your body to do what it's supposed to do. But it's also very much a mental game. Like, you have to be in the right headspace. You want to know exactly where you're going, exactly what counts you're holding, exactly what syncopations you need to remember that you tweaked or changed. So
yeah, I'm gonna say.
Well, I think a lot of I have a feeling that a lot of dancers have similar rituals that they go through. Yeah.
I see a lot of headsets and people wandering around and taking a moment, and then coming together and touchy-feely with your dance partner and connecting with them, and then you're off. And
absolutely.
I always needed the bathroom.
Yes.
And then you walk on the floor and it's gone. And then you forget about it and you dance and you come off the floor and you don't need it anymore. So it's definitely a nervous thing. And I'm going to admit that. I don't
100% a nervous thing. I learned that early on. I did the ballet tap jazz thing as a kid. And there's nothing worse than feeling like you have to go to the bathroom 2 minutes before the curtains pull up. And you've got tights and a leotard and the overdress and the tutu and the shoes. Yep. And it's like, I can't. So we're just going to go with it. But you're right. As soon as you step out onto the floor or you step out onto the stage and the lights hit you, you're like, nope, I'm fine. What was I worried about?
Yeah, it's a nervous thing.
Yeah. So you mentioned that when you were kind of getting ready for the showpiece at Ohio, that you were realizing, or you were working through, how much you had adapted and changed your style from the first time that you were on the floor. I'd love to hear a little bit about what your dancing has evolved to be, what you're finding the difference is, whether it's just time or whether it's how the dance has evolved, how your teaching style has changed based on what your body is wanting to do or leaning towards doing now.
I feel my style of dancing has, obviously, as I've matured, my dancing style has matured. But getting choreography to put onto the dance floor in 2000, end of 2017, going into 2018, you can't do the choreography that you did in 97, 98, and 99, 2000, because there are so many people in the audience that really, she's slow and all of that good stuff. So I think we tried to adapt some of the new athleticism and, the speed and the spins. I know for me, I've always been, if in doubt, spin 3 times and stop. Fill it up with a spin.
It works.
Yeah. Working with Bill, we wanted it to be ours, but the choreography itself still needed to be up to date. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm Samantha with Love.Live.Dance.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Be kind, stay safe, and we will see you next week.